Hello, I'm Charlotte, and today I'm going to be reading you a story all about a rather interesting doctor with some rather more interesting patients. It's called The Story of Doctor Dolittle by Hugh Lofting. Shall we begin? It happened one day that the doctor was sitting in his kitchen, talking with the cat's meat man, who had come to see him about some rather painful stomachache. "Why don't you give up being a people's doctor and be an animal's doctor?" asked the cat meat man. The parrot, Polynesia, was sitting in the window, looking out at the rain and singing a sailor song to herself. She stopped singing and started to listen. "You see, doctor," the cat's meat man said, "you know all about animals, much more than what these here vets do. That book you wrote about cats, why, it's wonderful. I mean, I can't read or write myself, or maybe I'd write books. Anyway, but my wife, Theodosia, she's a scholar, she is, and she read your book to me. Well, it's wonderful. That's all that can be said. It's wonderful. You might have been a cat yourself. You know the way they think. And listen, you can make a lot of money doctoring animals. Do you know that? You see, I'd send you all the old women who had sick cats or dogs to you. And if they didn't get ill fast enough, I could put something in the cat meat to make them feel all bad, you see." "Oh no," said the doctor quickly. "You mustn't do that. That wouldn't be right." "Oh, I don't mean real bad," answered the cat's meat man. "Just a little something to make them a bit droopy-like was what I had reference to. But, as you say, maybe it ain't quite fair on the animals. But they'll get ill anyway, because the old woman always gives them too much to eat. And look at all the farmers round and about with lame horses and weak lambs. They'd come. Be an animal doctor." When the cat's meat man had gone, the parrot flew off the window onto the doctor's table and said, "Grrr! That man's got sense. Grrr! That's what you ought to do. Be an animal doctor. Give the silly people up if they ain't brains enough to see that you're the best doctor in the world. Grrr! Take care of animals instead. Grrr! Soon they'll find out. Be an animal doctor. Grrr!" "Oh, there are plenty of animal doctors," said Dr. Dolittle, putting the flower pots outside on the windowsill to get the rain. "Yes, there are plenty," said Polynesia, "but none of them are any good at all. Now, listen, doctor, and I'll tell you something. Did you know animals can talk?" "I knew that parrots could talk," said the doctor. "Oh, we parrots can talk in two languages, people's language and bird language," said Polynesia proudly. "If I say, 'Polly wants a cracker,' you understand me. But if you hear this, crock, crack, crack." "Good gracious," cried the doctor. "What on earth does that mean?" "It means, is the porridge hot yet, in bird language." "My, you don't say so," said the doctor. "You never talked that way to me before." "What would that have been any good?" said Polynesia, dusting some biscuit crumbs from off her left wing. "You wouldn't have understood me if I had." "Tell me some more," said the doctor, all excited, and he rushed over to the dresser drawer and came back with the butcher's book and a pencil. "Now, don't go too fast, and I'll write it all down. This is interesting, very, very interesting. Something quite new, I do think. Now, give me the bird's ABC first, slowly now." So that's the way the doctor came to learn the animals had a language of their own and could talk to one another. And all that afternoon, whilst it was raining, Polynesia sat on the kitchen table, giving him bird words to put down in his book. At tea time, when the dog Jip came in, the parrot said to the doctor, "See, he's talking to you." "Looks to me as though he were scratching his ear," said the doctor. "But animals don't always speak with their mouths," said the parrot in a high voice, raising her eyebrows. "They talk with their ears, with their feet, with their tails, with everything. Sometimes they don't want to make a noise,
Do you see now the way he's twitching one side of his nose? What?
"Oh, what does that mean?" said the doctor.
It means, can't you see that it has stopped raining? What?
Polynesia answered.
He's asking you a question. Dogs nearly always use their noses for asking questions. What?
After a while, with the parrot's help, the doctor got to learn the language of the animals so well that he could talk to them himself and understand everything they had to say. Then he gave up being a people's doctor altogether. As soon as the cat's meat man had told everyone that Dr. Dolittle was going to become an animal doctor, old ladies began to bring them their pet pugs and poodles who had eaten too much cake, and farmers came from miles to show him sick cows and sheep and horses. One day, a plough horse was brought to him, and the poor thing was terribly glad to find a man who could talk in horse language.
"You know, doctor," said the horse, "that vet over the hill knows nothing at all. He's been treating me 6 weeks now for spavins. What I need is spectacles. I'm going blind in one eye. There's no reason why horses shouldn't wear glasses the same as people, but that stupid man over the hill never even looked at my eyes. He kept on giving me these big pills. I tried to tell him, but he couldn't understand a word of horse language. What I need is spectacles."
Of course, said the doctor. "I'll get you some at once."
"I'd like a pair like yours," said the horse, "only green. They'll keep the sun out of my eyes while I'm ploughing the 50-acre field." "Oh!"
"Certainly," said the doctor. "Green ones you shall have for ploughing the field."
"You know, the trouble is, sir," said the plough horse as the doctor opened the front door to let him out. "Well, the trouble is that everybody thinks he can be a doctor to animals just because the animals don't complain. As a matter of fact, it takes a much cleverer man or woman to be a really good animal doctor than it makes to be a people's doctor. My farmer boy thinks he knows all about horses. Oh, I wish you could see him. His face is so fat he looks as though he has no eyes, and he's got as much brain as a potato. He tried to put a mustard plaster on me last week."
"Where did he put it?" asked the doctor.
"Oh, he didn't put it anywhere. Not on me," said the horse. "He only tried to. I kicked him well into the duck pond."
Well, well, said the doctor.
"I'm a pretty quiet creature as a rule," said the horse. "Very patient with people. Don't like to make much fuss. But it was bad enough to have that vet giving me the wrong medicine, and then that red-faced booby started to monkey about with me. I just couldn't bear it any more."
"Did you hurt the boy much?" asked the doctor.
"Oh, no," said the horse. "I kicked him in the right place. The vet's looking after him now. When do you think my glasses will be ready?"
"I'll have them for you next week," said the doctor. "Come again on Tuesday. Good morning." Then Dr. Dolittle got a large, fine, big pair of green spectacles, and the plough horse stopped going blind in one eye and could see as well as ever. As soon as it became a common sight to see farm animals wearing glasses in the country round Puddleby, and a blind horse was now a thing unknown. And so it was with all the other animals that were brought to him. As soon as they found that he could talk their language, they told him where the pain was and how they felt, and of course it was easy for him to cure them. Now all these animals went back and told their brothers and sisters and mums and dads and friends that there was a doctor in the little house with the big garden who really was an animal doctor. And whenever any creatures got sick, not only big ones like horses and cows and dogs, but all the little things of the fields like harvest mice and water voles and badgers and bats and foxes, they came at once to his house on the edge of the town, so that his big garden was nearly crowded with animals always, trying to get in to see him. There were so many that came that he had to have special doors made for them, all different kinds. He wrote horses over the front door, cows over the side door, and sheep on the kitchen door. Each kind of animal had a separate door. Even the mice had a tiny tunnel made for them in the cellar, where they waited patiently in rows for the doctor to come round and see them. And so, in a few years' time, every living thing for miles and miles got to know about Dr. Dolittle, M.D. And the birds who flew to other countries in the winter told the animals in foreign lands of a wonderful doctor of Puddleby on the Marsh who could understand their talk and help them with their troubles. In this way, they became famous among the animals all over the world, better known even than they had been among the folks in the west of the country. And they were happy, and they liked their life very, very much.